This morning, we have the tremendous opportunity to hear from an 8th grader delivering his chapel. Today, we have Xander Hoyshik, who will be speaking to us, and Xander's been at Montgomery since kindergarten, so his faculty, I know, have really enjoyed watching him grow up and develop over the years here at Montgomery. Often, when you look for Xander on campus, the best place to look for him is up in that booth with Mr. Hamilton. So very early on, we identified that he had some pretty amazing skills, and he has come to the rescue of many faculty as they prepare for their chapel and want to do a video segment. He was the go-to guy starting in lower school. So he's got a really creative spirit. He knows more about tech than I will ever know. A little tidbit about him that you may not know is he has, for many summers, come in and helped Mr. Hamilton, and he sets up computers for faculty, and he's been helping with the network, and he knows quite a bit about the infrastructure here at Montgomery. I know his friends really enjoy being around him. He is a great friend to many students, and we are so excited to hear from him today. So please welcome Xander to the stage.
Good luck. Hello, Montgomery School. My name is Xander Hoyshik, and today I'm going to talk to you about teachers. Don't get me wrong, I greatly appreciate all the teachers here at Montgomery and at every other school. And I love Mrs. Shellhorn's hour-and-a-half-long history tests and Mr. Raj's daily math homework, but that's not who I'm going to talk to you about today. Today I'm going to talk to you about teachers outside of school that don't have the official title of a teacher. How many of you have teachers outside of school? Raise your hand. Okay, so a good amount of you. Before I can give you some examples of teachers in my life and teachers that may be in your lives, let's first talk about what a teacher is. The Merriam-Webster definition of teacher is one who teaches, which was extremely helpful considering it had the root word of teacher in the definition. So I had to look up the definition of teach, and here's what I found. The definition of teach is to cause to know something, meaning to give someone information or knowledge about a certain topic. So really, a teacher can be anyone who has told you about something that you haven't already known. I find from being in school and being on sports teams that this is something many can take for granted. There is true value in having something you don't even know exists being shown to you by another person, be it this thing a certain math concept or a certain sports trick. These are things that you can learn to master because of a certain person's ability and want to show you how to master them. This shows that the concept of a teacher has been around since the beginning of everything, because the person that taught you how to do algebra or how to do that cool sports trick only knows how to do it themselves because they were taught by their very own teacher. I try to picture a cave person teaching his or her children how to hunt for food without even being able to talk to them. Now that you have a basis of what a teacher is and how important they are for everyone, I'm going to give you a few examples of teachers in my life. First of all, I'll give thanks to my parents for teaching me how to walk and talk and all the other basic life essentials. Now I'll talk about my hockey coach, Coach Malik. I've had Coach Malik as my coach for the past 5 years. I've had different kids on the team and different assistant coaches, but Coach Malik has always been my head coach. When I was first on his team, I'd only been playing hockey for 2 years, so I wasn't the best on the team. I started out as third line wing, which if you don't know the sport of hockey, isn't very good. I slowly progressed my way up to better positions, and now I'm on the starting line. I only progressed because my coach successfully taught me how to play the sport. That coach taught me most of what I know about how to play hockey, and even though he does not work at a school, I still consider him a teacher. Another example of a teacher in my life is Mr. Smith. Many of you may know Mr. Smith because he was the former music teacher here at Montgomery before Mr. Ormsby. I started taking guitar lessons with Mr. Smith about 3 years ago when he was still teaching at Montgomery. As soon as I started taking lessons with Mr. Smith, I could tell that I was going to learn a lot with him. He had a great sense of humor, but was serious enough for me to actually learn. After each lesson with him, I came home wanting to practice and wanting to learn more. He makes learning even the most boring guitar techniques fun and enjoyable. I've also had the ability to learn some of my favorite songs, such as Metallica's Enter Sandman or the Eagles' Hotel California, because of skills he has taught me. I progressed considerably in between lessons with him, and I still do, as I continue to take lessons. One of the most influential teachers in my life, who works at a school, but does not have the official title of a teacher, is Mr. Hamilton. Mr. Hamilton, for those of you who don't know, is the Director of Technology here at Montgomery. In 4th grade, I was sitting near the front row of seats in this building, just as you current 4th graders are now, listening to someone else's chapel. But I wanted to be back there in the tech booth, working the lights, sound, and slideshows with Mr. Hamilton. One day, I built up the courage to ask Mr. Hamilton if I could help out in the tech booth, and he said yes. He taught me how to control the lights using the lighting iPad, how to work the soundboard, and more recently, how to control the video recording system. I started to occasionally help out for a chapel, and after a few months, I was in the booth twice a week to help out with chapels. Over that year, I got to know Mr. Hamilton pretty well and was spending time talking to him in his office, which has many computers and electrical parts that he works on fixing. I would ask questions about what the things were he had in his office, and he would tell me, going as far to explain their purpose and how they work. At the end of that year, I had almost mastered how to use every piece of equipment in the tech booth and could run a chapel just like the one you're listening to right now, all by myself. Mr. Hamilton approached me and asked me if I wanted to help him run the tech for the 5th grade play, even though I was still in 4th grade, and I said yes. I might sound like a nerd, but I went home that day so excited. I told my parents and couldn't stop thinking about it the whole night. When the time came for the actual 5th grade play, I ran the lighting iPad with Mr. Hamilton, and it was a really great experience. This was something that Mr. Hamilton sought out my help for. He could have easily ran the whole entire tech booth by himself, but he knew that I had an interest to learn, and he wanted to teach me. The next year, I continued to spend time helping Mr. Hamilton, and I was constantly learning new things from him. That year, I helped run the tech for the 5th grade play again. When I got to middle school is when I really started to learn a lot from Mr. Hamilton. I got permission to spend my afternoons in the fall trimester helping him with various IT tasks. With every job I had, he would first teach me about what it was I was doing, and he would answer any questions I may have had. He taught me how to complete various tasks, such as setting up Chromebooks and iPads for students to use, and he taught me how to fix teachers' broken computers, aka just restart them, and countless other things. That summer, I came to the school to help Mr. Hamilton because even over the summer, school faculty come into work. That summer, the school had gotten 2 new 3D printers, which I helped him run test prints on and make some of these cool fidget cubes you may have seen around campus. I would also come in the next summer to help him set up a new shipment of Chromebooks. I've worked with Mr. Hamilton during the fall trimester after school since, and have learned countless lessons on different technology-related things and different school IT tasks he does. He's been a very influential teacher in my life, and even though he doesn't have the official title of school teacher here at Montgomery School, I believe he is. Now that you've heard examples of teachers in my life, I'll tell you who teachers may be in your life. But maybe the most surprising person who is a teacher in your life is you. All of you are teachers, and you all have taught many others in your life and passed on the valuable knowledge that has been taught to you by others. You all, at least at some point in your life, have helped your friends with a certain homework problem they didn't understand, and you all have shown your friends a cool skill that you may have learned from someone else. The experiences I have shared with you that have happened in my life, and the information that has been taught to me, I will go on to teach to someone else. The very same thing will happen to you. You may be someone's sports coach when you're older, and you may be someone's instrument instructor. Teachers can be your family members, coaches, and even your friends. Even other adults that don't work at schools are teachers. A house builder has to teach another person how to build a house the same way that they do, so that that other person can build houses when they're too old to. And even professional sports players still have coaches to teach them how to become better at their designated sport. You all have had many teachers come in and out of your life, and you will continue to. Always remember to respect your teachers and to be grateful to them for wanting you to learn, because one day you will receive the same respect from those that you will go on to teach. Never pass up the opportunity to have a new teacher in your life, because it's a never bad idea to learn something new. And never pass up the opportunity to teach someone else, because the concept of a teacher comes full circle, and the student will always become the teacher. Thank you, and have a great day.